Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are doing really well. If this is your first time here, I'm Lundi Peters and I'm a financial coach. Here to help you plan for a brighter future and help you take more control over your hard-earned pennies with budgeting, saving, motivation and guidance. And I'll be sharing my investment journey with you. In today's video, we'll be discussing your why and the 4 steps in creating a budget. I can't overemphasize how important a budget is for a family because it helps you with financial securities. It will also help you to achieve financial freedom because you understand what's going on in your expenses, you understand what money is coming in, what money is going out, and that can help you with achieving your goals, whatever they might be. But you need to have a plan in place to achieve those goals. Now, I know with a budget it's really difficult. A lot of people aren't used to having a budget, and there's no point in starting and setting up a budget just to put it in the cupboard or put it in the laptop in a file and actually never look at it. So a great way to get around this is actually having a look at your why. Why have you decided to start a budget now? What is the reason you want to start changing your financial freedom? Maybe you're having sleepless nights, stress, and you actually want to change all of that so you can have freedom and peace at night, knowing you don't have to worry. You know how much money you've got coming in, you know what's going out, and you actually have enough money because your budget is right. And if it's your plan, you also have extra money to work for what it is you want. Maybe if you want to get a mortgage or retire early, or whatever plan it is you got, what goals do you have? So it's really important to have a look at why are you doing this? What is it you would like to achieve? Because having a why and understanding where it is you want to go helps you to be more strict with yourself, to be able to stick to your budget. This will help that you don't spend money unnecessarily for things you did not budget for or things you don't actually need. The 4 steps in creating a budget. First off, your income. So what type of incomes do you have? Do you have a paycheck that you receive every single week or once a month? Now, what other incomes do you have on top of it? Do you have side hustles where you are selling your services or selling goods that brings you in extra money, or are you selling some stuff on Facebook or eBay to bring you an extra income? Or maybe you've got some dividends coming in from your stocks and shares you are investing in, or maybe some interest that you're receiving on savings accounts. So have a look at what type of incomes do you have that you can put into your budget, that you can make sure that you know what you're going to do with that money. If it's dividends from your stocks and shares, are you adding those dividends to your budget, or are that stocks and shares dividend just going back into investing in more stocks and shares for the moment? Your side hustles, what are you going to do with that money? Is that money going into paying extra for retirement, or is that making your life easier with saving for holidays or Christmas or anything in that type of line? Don't forget, we do have a Christmas challenge which is almost at an end, which I will link on top for you to have a look. The second step is to have a look at your expenses. Now, what is it you have to pay every single month just to have your household running? This does not include any luxuries. So first off, I would say the biggest expense for most people is their mortgage or their rent. So first off, put that in. Then you need to have a look at what else are you paying every single month to make sure your household is running. Anything like household utilities, water bills, TV licenses, insurance. Do you have car insurance and do you have house insurance that needs to be paid every single month? Don't forget to add in any childcare or food you would need for the month, and also have a little bit in your budget for anything you might need. If you might need to go and buy another jumper for the winter, or your child grows out of their clothes and might need new clothes for school, or as you know how kids are, they run and they break their shoes and you might end up having to go buy shoes you did not expect to for that month. So always have a little bit in your budget for any expenses you did not expect for clothing or anything you might need. Not too much, but make sure you've got a little bit in there for anything that pops up throughout the month. The next thing you have to have a look at is your debt. Now, after you've done all your expenses for your house, the next thing to have a look at is how much money do you owe other companies in debt? Is it credit cards, loans, store cards, or maybe a car loan? So all of that you put after your expenses. So you've got all your debt all together, so you can see what do you have to pay off in your household. So it will help you having a look at how to do a snowball effect or an avalanche effect and get those debt cleared as soon as possible. Then we also have our little luxuries we like, so please add those into your expenses as well. But for the time being, if you're using my spreadsheet, make sure you make those orange so that we can have a look at those in the end after you've done your budget. If we need to do cuts, what is it you can cut out and what is it you can save a bit of money on? So add those in below that and make them all orange. Please make sure you add the exact amounts that's rounded up to pounds in your spreadsheet so that it's easy to work out. And with the roundups, it makes it a little bit easier than to have to struggle with pence, and that leaves you a little bit of extra leeway for saving a bit of money every single month. Or if you would like to do it like me, round everything up to the nearest £5. So that gives me a little bit of extra money, which I put into savings every single month. If you're getting value so far, please smash that like button so it turns blue, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of my new videos. So in step 3, we will be assessing your income. So you have a look at how much you are getting in and how much you're paying out every single month. Now there are 3 different budget types. So the first budget is a balanced budget. So that means your expenses and your income is exactly the same. So it's on budget. You don't have any extra money, but you also make sure you pay all your expenses. Now the second budget is a surplus budget. That means you have more money coming in than you have going out, which is great because that means that surplus money you can put into savings account, or you can start making that extra money work for you every single month. Now the third budget is a defect budget. Now that means the money coming in is a lot less than the money going out. So you need to make sure that you have a look at your budget, especially at that stage where you can cut back so that you can make sure that you at least get back to a balanced budget, if not into a surplus budget. So now you know your total income, you know your total expenses, and you know what type of budget you have. Now it's time to decide what is it you want your budget to do. Now, first off, if you've got a surplus budget, you need to have a look at what do you want to do with that extra income. Do you want to put it in stocks and shares so it actually makes you a bit more money, so your money can work as hard as you do? Or do you want to put it in a savings account so that it can earn interest every single month? But before you decide, you need to make sure you've got all the saving plans in place so you've got all the right accounts. I'll link the video on top where I talk more about the savings account you need, like your emergency fund, which is really an important one to make sure you don't have to use debt to help you out when you really need it. And if your budget is a defect budget, it's time to have a look at what luxuries do you have that you can maybe cut back on, or what of the luxuries you are paying every single month you don't actually need, or maybe there's something on your budget that you are paying every single month that you don't use at all. Maybe you can cut that out. Like personally, me and my husband, we've cancelled Sky because we realized we don't even use it at all. We use the Skybox to watch Netflix all the time, and if we do watch the channels, it's usually the free ones. So we've cancelled that, and we'll use my husband's PlayStation 4 to watch Netflix on, and I'll be seeing what I can do for a Freeview channels. Is there maybe a cheaper box out there, or can we download the BBC apps or the ITV apps onto my husband's PlayStation as well, so we can watch the TV on there instead of having to pay Sky £30 a month for just giving me a box basically. Step 4, using and maintaining your budget. Now, what I tend to do every single month is when it gets to the paydays, ensure that all the money that should be coming in is coming into my account. And as soon as my expenses start going out, ensuring that everything I've got on my budget that I need to pay every single month, the money actually does go out. Check that all your direct debits go off. Because if companies makes an error and you fall behind on your payments, they are just going to hold up their hands and say it's your responsibility to pay your bills. And you will end up with big bills that's going to make it very difficult for you. So it's easier just to check every single month that everything that you need to pay, you have paid before you start spending money that you might think is just extra. I also have direct debit set up for everything I want to save. All the money that needs to go into my leases for buying a house in the future, and all of my savings for stocks and shares, and also anything I want to save for retirement apart from those, and anything that needs to go into my emergency fund to top up on anything that I needed to use for any emergencies. Because if I need to use money for emergencies, I always put in my budget an amount that I need to pay back to pay my emergency fund back to the level where I'd like it to be. Now, you also need to decide how regularly do you want to make any changes to your budget. Now, I definitely recommend having a look at adjusting your budget when there's any major decisions changing in your life. Maybe if you've gone from rent to a mortgage, or if you are selling a car and taking on a new car loan, anything that makes a big impact on expenses going out or income coming in, it's usually a good idea to have a look at your budget and adjust it as such. I definitely like to have a look at my budget monthly. So while I'm doing all the income and expenses every single month, I do like to see how much extra money do I have, and if there's any extra money left over in my account after all of that, over and above the £50, I do like to adjust my budget so that I know that all my money is sent in the right places, and everything extra, I would like to put that money to work so that those little soldiers go and get me some more money, because I'm working very hard for my money and I'd like my money to work just as hard for me. Now, I like to put all that money into my retirement pot so that I can retire halfway in the age of 50 and the full retirement at the age of 55, like I've discussed in my FIRE video, which I'll link on top if you would like to go and find out more about my retirement plan and what I would like to do to achieve my FIRE goals and to get there. I'll leave a link in the description below if you'd like to give me a call to discuss any of the topics in my videos. If you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up to let me know, and make sure that you subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of my new videos. If you've got any topic requests or any questions for me, please comment below and I'll get back to you personally. Have a lovely day, guys. Bye.